This is Vashti with Vashti's House doing a mom talk. I'm on my way to see my little Snooky. It's literally a 7-hour drive, so lots of time to think and do mom talks. You know, I actually really like Miley Cyrus, her music. She's not like a role model of mine or anything. She's quite a bit younger than I am, but I actually really like her music. And I was thinking about that song, I can buy myself flowers, write my name in the sand, to talk to myself for hours, things you don't understand. I love that song. It's a catchy song. But you know what? It actually made me think about the fact that, you know, probably when she wrote that song, and she was in a very specific place, and it's a place that I have also found myself in many, many times, where this person that was supposed to love her was disappointing, wasn't able to do it in the way, as she says in the song, that she wanted, that was good for her. And yes, we are probably the ones that know ourselves the most. We're the ones that know what we need, you know, more than anybody else. But here's what I've thought about in my lifetime, and that is our obsession with being loved by others. It's an obsession, and you know, we have a hard time maintaining relationships because the person that we have a relationship with are massive disappointments. They don't treat us the way we want to be treated. They disrespect us. They overlook us. They don't appreciate us. And they're very, very flawed. All the people that we've loved and that we want to love us are extremely flawed. And, you know, especially a partnership relationship. So, you know, there's parent-child relationships and where there's a power differential. But when you're in a partner relationship, like, you know, with a friend or your significant other, like your lifetime partner, you have expectations of them, and when they're not meeting those expectations, you suddenly are looking ahead at your whole life thinking, I'd rather move on. I don't want to be with this person. It's not working out. And here's the fatal flaw in that thinking. And I think this is something that we have to start turning our minds towards. The fatal flaw in that thinking is that when you marry a person or partner with a person, instead of thinking about how are they loving me, the real issue is that you have had a revelation of their value and how some sort of a connection, mentally and emotionally, spiritually even, of their value. And you are going to find your joy and purpose in helping them reach their potential. So the relationship becomes way less self-centered. Like, you're just not doing it for me anymore. And it turns into an investment. It turns into something that fuels your personal purpose. I've had to do this mind shift multiple times in my marriage. I've been married to the same man for 35, 36 years. And there were many times, I mean, to this day, he doesn't meet all my needs. To this day, he does things that are annoying. To this day, he still has flaws. He still has shortcomings. To this day, there's things he doesn't get. To this day, there's ways that he's not able to communicate with me or understand me. To this day. And I have to ask myself, am I going to go try to find somebody else who is going to make me feel better, that is going to say things that I want them to say in a better way? Or what was the reason why I married this person in the first place? And I have to reorient myself to, no, I married this person because I saw their potential. I understood their value. I got that they person that he is so valuable that investing in him is way more important than those trivial things. And he is valuable. He genuinely loves people. He's the neighborhood dad. He's had to do, if anybody in my neighborhood has a crisis, they come to my husband. And he knows what to do. And he knows how to do it. I don't do that. But you know what I can do? I can invest in him. That's how I take care of my neighbors. I invest in my husband. I'm an introvert. I don't want to talk to all the neighbors. I don't want to know their names. But I know somebody who does. And I can invest in that person. So, just something to think about. And of course, whenever I talk about equality in relationships or whatever, there's going to be the situation where you're in a relationship where the other person is extremely abusive and manipulative and dangerous, demeaning. That's not a partnership relationship. And the only way that you can love another person authentically and make sacrifices to love them and invest in them as a life purpose, as part of your own core values, is if you have self-respect and are protecting your own humanity. That's the only way you can do it. And one of the ways that I am able to love my husband more and more sacrificially, I'll even say, over the years, is because I've grown in self-respect. And I know that what I know what I can sacrifice, and I know what I need to keep to protect my value. And I've drawn some pretty hard lines in our relationship. My husband, he's very extroverted and he's a pusher. He will push. Negotiate. He's a negotiator. All these things are good. But I realized early on in my marriage, I don't like to be pushed and negotiated with. So I had to have him make some, adjustments. And I had to make some adjustments and just decide, I'm just going to tell him. I'm going to let him know or whatever. So the only way that we can genuinely make sacrifices in loving another person, investing your life in them, finding your joy in watching them advance and watching them expand and grow, like you actually find joy in it, is if you have self-respect and can do it within the context of protecting your value as a human being. Otherwise, it turns into a codependent relationship, an exploitive relationship, and an enmeshed relationship. So you do have to have your sense of self, your own values, your core values, and self-agency. And you have to love yourself. And you can't buy yourself flowers, but you know what? You can also buy somebody else's flowers. Or you can just not even have flowers. Why? Because you bought your loved one. You spent the money on buying yourself flowers, on buying them a Danish, because you love them and you want to invest in their life.